Hey guys, I'm Coach Andy, owner of Louisiana Gridiron Football. I'm joined here with Coach Ross Ackman, head coach of Bayou Prep Gators, and Dayla Weeks, our head sideline reporter. This is episode number 3 of our recruiting tripod. Today is an important one. Very important. Can you play football? Very important. You know, if you want to play college football, we got to know if you can play football. You know, you can't be just a body on the field, right? Is that what you need?
It's the truth. It's just what it is. No matter what level you're at, you got to actually be able to play the game.
So this in here is a big one. Let's break this in here down, like I said, Barney style.
Yeah.
All right. First things first. Are you looking for a coachable kid, Coach?
All the time.
What does a coachable kid look like to you?
A coachable kid doesn't have a look. A coachable kid is a mindset. Will he listen? Is he willing to do what he's told? Because a lot of people, I'm going to listen to it, but I'm really not willing to do that. And that is the problem with a lot of kids, actually. So being coachable is just, you can ask any coach in the country, and that's going to be top on their list. Is he coachable? Am I going to be able to train him to be great? Got to have it.
So let's go to the next one. When you go coachable, what's that next thing? Is he a workout? Is he a workout warrior?
Is he a workout warrior? I've seen kids even at my level who we've had kids who they've gained and lost opportunities based on were they that guy that was going to be the workout warrior. And honestly, genetics is genetics. Some people are stronger, faster, whatever,
right,
bigger, all that. But real deal, if you work hard, it's just like anything else. You're going to get something out of it. So if you're always in that weight room grinding, not just when it's 6:30 and you're supposed to be there, but when no one's watching, if you're always grinding, you fail to realize, you're thinking no one's watching, someone's watching, it's coming out. We're looking for that guy. I know that's, at our program, that's how we look. We're looking for that guy that, Coach, I went past by the weight room and he was in the weight room 6 a.m. We don't get there till 6:30. We're looking for that guy because we know that guy's going to put forth the effort that's needed to make it. And so, that's just another huge piece of it, of actually being a football player.
So talking about film, how long does the guy have to impress you before you close out of their film?
Immediately.
5 seconds. 10 seconds.
I'm post-grad prep. I'm last chance. So if you got 10 seconds with me, you got 5 seconds with the big guys. So your first piece of film needs to blow them away so that they can look at the rest of it.
Coach, you hit a nail on the head there. I'm gonna give you a scenario.
We'll go to church on this one, man. I'm
gonna give you a scenario. This is my pet peeve. And guys, I hope you're listening. I almost said it there, Coach. I almost said it. I hope you're listening. If your first play is kickoff and you blindside hit a guy on your first play, are you looking at that kid the second play?
We are not interested.
You look in the camera and say that one more time, Coach.
If your first play is kickoff or punt, any type of special teams, and it's just you blindsiding somebody who's not looking, I'm not looking at the rest of it.
So if you're not looking, does that mean Alabama's looking or LSU?
Definitely not looking.
So, guys, come on. Your first 10 seconds has got to be your most explosive plays. It's got to be a touchdown.
Got to be a touchdown.
It's got to be a sack. It's got to be an interception.
It has to be. If you don't have any interceptions, it's got to be a great pass breakup. If you're a running back, you need to see you scoring. You're a receiver.
Not a 5-yard touchdown.
No.
We want to see that 65-yard touchdown that you tell everybody you did on Saturday. When we call you up, Coach, I scored a 65-yard touchdown. I want to see that your first play.
That's the first one.
I got 12 sacks. That should be your first 12 plays should be a sack. If you got 12 sacks this season, your first 12 plays should be a sack.
And that first sack that I see should be that one where you just, not the one where not the all-out blitz where there was nobody there, the one where you beat the offensive lineman like a drum and put the quarterback in the dirt. That's the one.
But if it is an all-out blitz, I want to see that head pop.
It has to be.
I want to see that quarterback. I want to see that quarterback's head pop. Bop. If I'm a defensive line coach. I love defensive line. I love defensive line. Defensive line, in my opinion, is the one position on the field that can win a football game.
Correct.
Now you need a kicker. I learned that before to get that 3 points. Correct. But a defensive line can control that aspect.
Control the football.
Okay, so as a defensive line coach, your defensive line. Okay, I want to see that offensive lineman's head pop back on that first initial step. I want to see you use those hips. I want to see those hips go forward. Your biggest muscle in your body is your butt. It's connected to your biggest group of muscles, your quads. That's why they're called quads. That's 4 muscles. That's 5 muscles all connected in one big old giant leg, okay? I want to see you use that. I want to see you drive the hips forward, knock that offensive lineman back into his out of his stance. I don't want him to be able to block you. Okay? If you're a lineman and you're not doing that kind of stuff, you're not playing college football. If you can't, if you're, you could be 5'6". I promise you, I've seen 5'6" defensive linemen in college football.
The guy Louisiana College, he led the conference in sacks one year, and he's every bit of. He says he's 5'6". I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. He might
hear on me. I'm 5'9".
Right.
You know.
But the honest to God truth is you watch him on film.
He beating people.
You see people getting
He
beat.
plays his leverage,
popping the whole 9 yards.
Maurice Jones-Drew. You know what I'm gonna say? 6'5", Sean Merriman. He comes out of the backfield on that little route, protecting Byron Leftwich, pops him. If you don't know who Maurice Jones-Drew is, he's 5'5", 5'4",
5'7".
maybe.
Listed 5'7".
Yeah, that's what cleats on, with big cleats on.
Yeah.
Okay, he was a workout warrior. He had tree trunks for legs. I mean, his legs were as big as round as your arms, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Maurice Jones-Drew hits Sean Merriman, 6'5", outside linebacker, defensive end for the San Diego Chargers. Doesn't just hit him, Coach. Power drives him. He does a Stone Cold Austin, picks him up, power drives him into the turf. Size does not matter, guys.
It doesn't matter.
It's what's in here.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, what we're saying basically is you just got to have the dog in you.
Right.
And that's
right.
the thing about it is you're trying to impress a coach. And this is my one. You had yours, so this one's mine. When you've decided that your best force of action would be to email or DM the coach just your Twitter link without any other information, including like your name, if you have what's your grade, your stats, anything. So on the off chance, because a lot of times, guys, when you do that, the coaches do not look. But just on the off chance that he does look, the first thing he needs to see is something that's going to make him say, I'm willing to watch more. And I'll be very honest with you, coaches at this level, at the big level, they're not watching that 7 minutes of film. They don't have time. They just don't. No. If you're that quarterback and you got 50 touchdown passes, he's not watching all 50. You need to make sure that the first one, number one, is like a dime touchdown pass, so he can say, yeah, he's a quarterback. Throw something in there showing you rolling out of the pocket. Something in there where you had to scramble a little bit and keep your eyes upfield and make the throw. Something that shows your feet and hips making the throw.
About 2 minutes max is what you're saying.
2 minutes max. We had a player last year from who was a conference defensive player of the year. When we were sending out his film, he had 2 minutes and 15 seconds worth of film. 60 coaches responded because his 2 minutes and 15 seconds looked like a Sean Merriman highlight reel. And that's all we needed to get the point across. Once you do that, how college coaches really work, guys,
now they
can care less about those highlights. They're going to look at the first couple highlights to see if you really got the dog, and then they're going to call your coach and say, send me some game film. Open your Twitter where I can see the game.
Coach, what does a highlight mean, though? Highlight means your best play.
Best play. So, and I'm going to give you an example. There's several student athletes I've seen who they didn't have their best play as the first play or in the second or third. And I'm already kind of disinterested. And then all of a sudden I look up and I'm like, why wasn't that first? You know, if you're a receiver, touchdown first. Touchdown is that simple. Touchdown first. You got a touchdown where you jumped up over the DB, caught it, and ran into the end zone. I didn't see that first. If you got that one where you caught a little swing pass and then you took it to the house, I didn't see that first.
If you're a lineman,
don't put a 5-yard out first.
If you're a lineman and you squat 700 pounds, you know you're a state champion, power lifter. You're a lineman. How does that translate onto the field?
Right.
I want to see you drive. If you're an offensive lineman, you squat 700 pounds, you're state champion power lifter, you should be able to drive that defensive lineman.
It wouldn't be a bad idea to put that, since you know how to do all these things, and put notes on your huddle film.
Hey, I won state
champion in
power
in
lifter.
a squat, 700 pounds, and then the next clip should be you pile driving the D lineman into the dirt. And that's going to make that coach say, hey, I don't need to see nothing else. Hey, coach, let's talk to this kid right here, and it's over with from there.
That's right.
And I can't tell you how many times, because you're on the camp circuit. I've always ran the camp circuit. There's been guys who have gotten their opportunities just because that first 10, 15 seconds of film blew some coach out the way, so that coach jumped on and told this coach, who told this coach, then all of a sudden that kid that wasn't getting recruited by nobody. People that are going to go back to, they talked about it during the draft, that Josh Jacobs film. That Josh Jacobs film was not long, that he put out on Twitter when he got on Twitter. But his first plays were, boom, hit the hole, run over a guy, run for 80 yards. Boom, shook a guy in his shoes, run for 60 yards. It opened up the eyes of the coaches, and just that's what made it happen for him. So, honestly, and just being all the way black and white transparent up front, if you don't have those plays, you're probably not a college football player, just being honest.
I don't like to quote movie quotes, but there's this movie came out a couple years ago. A young man named Michael Orr, The Blind Side. And all they show is that one clip.
That's it.
It was Nick Saban. Hey! I want to see that guy.
Yeah.
Ain't that what Nick Saban was saying? We need to call this guy in.
And let me tell you, that's how it happens. Honestly, you gotta have that one clip that makes them say, "I gotta see what's going on with this kid." We had a kid from our last year's team, Isaiah Lewis. First clip on his highlight is him just he hurdles over a 6'3" DB, like clears him. That's all you need. That speaks for everything else. You don't need 10 minutes of everything else. That speaks for everything. That makes the coach say, "Hey, I got to see what's going on. Now let me call the coach, see what his grades look like. Now let me go and look at his game film. Now let me do this." You got to be able to be a ball player. Because what happens is, some of those plays you made on the high school level, you're not going to be able to make on the college level. So what a college recruiter is looking at is saying, all right, does his splash plays translate? When he's sacking, when you're a linebacker, and you could be that linebacker at 136 tackles, but are you an ankle biter? Did you have 136 tackles and you're grabbing people by the legs every play and all that? Or are you blowing people up, making helmets pop, people walking out the game funny, all that type of stuff? Because that's honest to God, that's what we're looking for. Same thing as if you're a safety.
There's a difference between a high school football player, a great high school football player, and a college player.
There's some great high school football players.
There are. There's going to be guys that have 200 tackles in a year.
Yeah,
they're going to have 200 tackles. They're going to lead their district. They're going to lead state. They're going to beat all-state players. Great high school football players, but never will play college football because it doesn't translate.
In Louisiana, football is year-round. At Louisiana Gridiron Football, we're more than just a magazine. Our mission is simple: bring you the inside scoop on the teams that matter most to you. Go to LouisianaGridironFootball.com and subscribe today.
I played a dirty joke on Brandon Lacy one time when I was over at Southeastern. It was a dirty joke, Coach, and I just wanted to see what he would say. LSU was recruiting this young man. He played outside linebacker. And I pulled his solo film up. I brought it into Coach Lacy's office. And I know you're watching Coach Lacy, and I'm doming you out real quick, but it's funny. But anyway, I brought the computer into his office. Coach, I found this kid. What do you think of this guy? I showed him one play. The kid bull rushed. He was an outside linebacker. Bull rushed the left tackle, dropped the left tackle, and made the sack. Coach Lacy had one play. We got to get that kid. And he's like, "Where'd you see that kid at?" Like, "Oh, LSU's already got him."
I want to see if you buy it.
I just want to see what you thought.
Yeah.
So that's what it boils down to. What does your highlight film show? It's a highlight film. Your best players. Nobody cares you got 200 tackles. Football is an ultimate team sport. Whenever we do our rating system in a magazine, this magazine right here, Coach, when we look at this magazine, not one kid is rated based off their stats. Because what does stats really mean?
Nothing.
It's a team exercise. Quarterback can have 5,000 yards passing. Does that make that quarterback a great quarterback?
What if your team was 3-6?
Well, Drew Brees, when he has 5,000 yards passing, what's the Saints record?
We missed the playoffs.
We missed playoffs.
I like it to be around 4,000.
And we're
4,000. We go pretty far.
Drew, you're watching, Drew.
Let's keep it at
4,000.
4,500.
But if you have 5,000 yards passing, what does that say about your wide receivers out there? Are they great? Are they good? What about your running back that has maybe 1,000 yards running? Because if you got 4,000 yards passing, that means that means they're not, they're respecting that run game.
And here's the deal: there's some people that are out there thinking that, well, I'm under recruited because
I don't have
you
any
know,
stats.
I don't have any stats. But I'm gonna be very honest. I've seen guys who do not have the stats, but their film tells everything, and those guys are getting recruited by the huge schools because their film says, I can do what I just did on this play on the next level. I've seen receivers with 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, blah, blah, blah. Coach is not getting any type of love. Well, also his quarterback was freaking Lawrence from Clemson. He probably did get 1,000 yards in receiving from a 5-star quarterback. Or the other way around, a quarterback who's throwing to nothing but 4- and 5-star receivers. They see that too. The coaches see the difference. They know.
Right.
So, none of your film says that, oh, you made a tough throw. You're throwing it up for grabs, and a 6'5" guy with a 40-inch vertical is jumping up and grabbing it. All you're doing is pointing me more attention to him saying, I got a finish. What is his name? Jeez Louise.
If you're a linebacker hitting 200 tackles a game, what's that say about your defensive line?
You didn't have, that means that you had a bunch of freshmen playing D-line, and they were all 175 pounds. That's what that tells me.
Or flip side, your defensive line was making some big holes for you.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I'm saying?
You might have had them real mud grabbers that really
Right.
going in there and
So
take them too.
stats does not get you into college, is what you're saying.
No.
No, it's about how you work out, how you listen to camps. I almost spilled the beans there, Coach.
Oh, man.
I almost spilled the beans there.
Man.
The final thing about athletics, that camp. If you're not going to camp, can you get seen?
No. It's just, it's the new era. And if you don't go to camp, you don't get seen. It's just what it is. And there's been some really great football players that, fell under the radar because they didn't run to a bunch of camps. And it's a shame, honestly, because, guys get missed. But this is how it is now. When I'm talking to kids, if you're not camping in that junior to senior year summer, you're going to be in trouble because the way they're recruiting is based on that. They're guys they already know and the guys they're getting to know. So you might ball out that senior year, but they don't have you on their radar because you just weren't a camp guy. And let's be honest, we know camps cost money and sometimes you can't spend that money and things like that. Pick out 2 camps that you can afford. Also 2 camps where there's schools that will recruit you. Everybody wants to go to LSU's camp. Everybody wants to go to Alabama's camp.
Everybody.
But they're not recruiting you. I've seen some guys go to that mega D2, D3 camp and left out with 10, 11 offers because they went where they can be recruited. They went where what they have, the stud that they got, translates and people
you're bringing a good point there. You're bringing a good point there. All it takes is that one offer. So somebody's interested in you. If somebody's interested, that's gonna drive interest up.
And there's a lot of guys also.
You can't start at the top and work your way down.
There's a lot of guys also who started small. They started with a bunch of small offers, and then all of a sudden, Alabama comes to the school to see what's going on because it just happens. You got a couple. I can't even think of the kid's name from a couple years ago. Like the only offer he had was LC, and then I look up. All of a sudden on signing day, he signed with Oklahoma. And even he was just kind of like, I was going to LC, coach. That was the first person offered me. I was going to LC, no big deal. And next thing I know, Oklahoma comes to knock. But that's because you kept pushing, and it kept going up, and how film works and how camp works and all that. See,
everybody knows everybody. Everybody talks.
And these coaches switch jobs how much?
Every year.
Every year.
Not even every year.
Think about one of the big
some of them might switch within the same year.
One of the big DC coaches at Alabama came from the year before? D3.
Yep.
So you might have been the guy talking to this D3 coach in your sophomore and junior year, and your grades are right, you got good character, and you're busting butt on film and in camp, and now he's at Alabama. You know what he's going to do? Hey, Nick, I saw this kid. Let's give him a look. And that's how it happens every day.
Every day.
But also, to be honest, before it happens, you got to be a ball player.
But here's the most important thing about a camp. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's not the offer. It's about learning those techniques.
Yes.
Because a high school coach has 2 hours a day with you on a football field. He does not have time to teach you all the techniques. As a defensive line coach, I want to know how you use your hands. Right. Where's your hands going? Center, chest, arm? I want to know how you use your hips. They don't have time in that 2-hour practice to teach you every technique in the book. Those camps, that's where you learn a lot of technique. And then you can use those techniques you learn from those camps. When August starts, your leaps are you're right.
I saw, and I remember when I was younger and he was coaching D-line, he was recruiting me. I saw Coach Ed Orgeron at the Tulane camp 2 weeks ago, teaching them not about hitting the dummy, how to hit the dummy, how to explode into this dummy. And I'm seeing guys that are already, really punch it. All of a sudden, one of the kid knocks the dummy all the way off, and that Ed Orgeron, he's fired up. You think it was really game time, but that's what he doesn't get in high school. Not that your high school coach doesn't want to give it to you. It's that because there's not enough hours in the day to give you that technical training. So now you went to the camp, got that technical training. So you're going to marry that with what your coach is teaching you at school, and go out there in August, and you're going to just blow stuff up. Because you've been out there, you've been working, you've been grinding, and it's just what it is. When you put all that together, now you're making yourself a real deal, something that people want to see. Because let's be honest, how many receivers are there that are decent? A million. As a college coach, I'm just being honest. I tell kids all the time, you can't go out there and treat these people or talk to a coach and think that you're the only one. There's a million great receivers out there. What makes you special? What's going to make you different? There's a million great receivers that can just get off the line and run that 9. I can run a 9, coach. I can run it. I can just throw it out there. I'm faster than the guy in front of me. There's a million of those guys.
4.5 40.
4.5 40. How many of those guys can make that DB miss and take that slant to the house?
Use that hand work.
Use the hand work.
Use a little chop.
Little thing.
Take that step, chop, and move.
Little thing.
Catch that ball with his hands. Not with his chest, with his hands.
I watched Derek Stingley in high school. His skill level, the things that he learned during the summer, was that it made it unfair. It just made it unfair. When you're that guy that goes in the summer and you're camping and you're working out and you're training, you're going to make it unfair against the guy on the other side of the ball from you, because you're going to have so much more tools in your toolbox and you can play faster than him. So when he just throws his hands out there to try and touch your chest and you bloop, bloop, bloop. Hey, I mean, yeah, that's how scholarships, that's how the check gets written.
Or you're standing there at wide receiver and you notice that the DB's standing on his toes. This is going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Because he's fixing to lunge at you. He's going to try and jam you on the line. Good little swat. He's back behind you. You're now in front of him, and you don't have to take a step.
And you've been training. You can swat. You can step back.
2 steps. There's nobody left except for the safety, who's 15 yards down the field. Now you got at least 30.
At the Belhaven camp, I saw Coach Jackson, who was he's the DB coach.
Yeah.
But he's teaching the receivers. So the DB is pressing you. What does that mean? That means that they're bringing pressure.
Right.
So can you do all this? You can't do all that dancing up here messing with him, because you got to get open right now. 2 steps. You got to get open right now. And these are things that, not that your high school coach does not want to teach you, or not even, because I know a lot of they do.
Yeah. They want to.
But again, the time frame in which they have to teach you is different. So if you come with at least the bones of it when you get to camp in the fall or in the summer, however they do it, boy, you're going to cause problems. It's just what it is.
So let's break this down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and be honest. In the state of Louisiana, in the class of 2020, football players, there are over 4,000 prospects in the state of Louisiana. This magazine, there's only 1,000. That's 25% of the state seniors, just seniors, not juniors. That's not 2021, not 2022. 2020, 25% of the senior class made the magazine. Okay? What does that say, Coach?
You either got it or you don't.
You've got to be able. What can you do to stand out? You're competing. You're not competing with just the guys in the state of Louisiana. If Louisiana schools, LSU, La Tech, Southern, Grambling, McNeese, if they always offer you the maximum number of scholarships, there's 11 of them. What's 11 times 25? 225. Yeah. 250 scholarships, right? So, you got 250 scholarships that can be given out in the state of Louisiana. Coach, there's 1,000. There's 4,000 in the 2020 class. So where's the other 750 kids going? If they want to play college football.
We would love to have you at Bayou Prep. We cannot take 750. We'd love to have you. But
here's the truth, though, Coach. LSU, ULM, UL, Tulane, and La Tech. They are Division I FBS programs. They cannot take 25 Louisiana players.
No way.
They are a national brand trying to bring in national guys, so they have to recruit out of state. Only half their roster can be Louisiana prospects. There's only going to be 12 to 15 players from LSU, right? LSU that's going to play. That's going to be from Louisiana.
Right.
Okay.
If that number, depending on the year.
Right, depending on the year. La Tech's going to have a maximum between 12 to 15 players going to be from Louisiana. Maximum. UL. That means, so now you just, McNeese, Northwestern State, Southern, Grambling, Nichols, and Southeastern, they're going to have a little bit more, and Northwestern State, sorry coach. They're going to have a little bit more flexibility, but not really.
They're national brands. Too.
They're national brands. They compete against North Dakota State.
Exactly.
They compete against the Dartmouths. They compete against they compete against all these big name schools. The Sam Houstons.
When you break it down, if I got 250 scholarships, and there's 4,000 kids in just the state of Louisiana, so that's just Louisiana. We have 50 states, and we have
Let's not talk about Texas, California.
Exactly. How many states are double and triple the size of Louisiana?
Texas, there's 1,400 schools. There's 360 high schools in state of Louisiana. I know that. Okay.
Yeah.
There's 1,400 high schools in Texas.
Yeah.
Dave Campbell's magazine just came out the other day. 1,400 high schools.
Have you ever seen the Texas high school? It's this thick.
So, what makes you stand out? Camps, your highlight film. Guys, if you've been watching this for the last 3 days, we're telling you what you've got to be doing. What is it you need to be doing to stand out? Not just with your classmates at your high school, but against your classmates in the 2020 class from California to Maine to Alaska to Florida to Louisiana. There are guys that are just as hungry, if not hungrier than you, all over this country. What is it you bring to the table that these schools want to see? Your huddle film. Your first 10 plays need to be rock star plays. Your huddle link needs to have your Twitter handle on it. You need to have you got to have at least a 3.0. 3.0. We covered it yesterday. Do your homework. Your character. What are you posting on social media? You do all these 3 things correctly and you're not getting offers, call me. Call me. I will give you my cell phone.
I'll offer you.
Because you're going to get offers. If you're doing those 3 things and you're not getting offers, I promise you're not going to have a head coach very soon. Your head coach is being fired tomorrow.
Correct.
If you're doing those 3 things, you're getting recruited. If you want to look at what the guys are getting recruited are doing, those are what those guys are doing. They're making sure they have the 20 ACT scores. They got a 3.0 GPA. They're not out there doing anything illegal, getting arrested, doing anything like that. They're out there on the football field. They're the first ones out there, they're the last ones to leave. If you're a senior and you're the first one off that field, shame on you.
Yes, sir.
Shame on you because you got the sophomores, the juniors, and the freshmen sitting there watching you.
Right.
What kind of leader are you on that field? Coach. I think we've covered the tripod of recruiting. Is there anything we may have not, I may have always overlooked?
That's it, man. Very simple. I mean, it is what it is. Those 3 things. If you're doing those 3 things, you're getting recruited. Period. Point blank. I'm
going to get a phone call from your head coach saying, hey, do an article about this guy. You will get on the magazine, and you will be the next cover of Louisiana Gridiron Football. I'm Coach Andy, owner of Louisiana Gridiron Football. This is Coach Ross, head football coach of the Bayou Prep Gators, and that's Daily Weeks. Thanks for joining us.